We've got some fresh
Hey,
young
this is
talent doing
FONZI,
some
and
things that I
yes,
know
it
you
is only
haven't
one of the
heard
brothers
before.
today, and welcome to the Content is Profit podcast. For this episode, we partner with our good friends from Podapalooza to get you the insights, accountability, and drive to create consistently and increase revenue, all through some great conversations with other entrepreneurs. The goal is simple: to entertain, educate, and turn your content into profit. Guys, if you find today's episode valuable, please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, follow us on social media at BIZBROS, and of course, don't forget to leave an honest review. Now, for this conversation, I met an incredible person. She is labeled as crazy by some, and I can't wait to dig a little bit deeper into her whole story. She is extremely amazing at helping her clients find their superpowers. She is a family person. She loves her 2 kids. She's extremely proud of her 2 kids. And she also wrote a book in 3 months. Can you even imagine? What an amazing accomplishment. Not to mention that she is an adrenaline seeker. I don't know, but maybe after this podcast, we're just gonna go jump off a plane in a parachute or something like that. We'll see what happens. Guys, today's guest is the one and only Diana Lidstone. Welcome, Diana. How you doing?
Hey, I'm so excited to be here. What energy!
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. It's kind of, I feel like I'm getting in the groove because usually my brother is the one that does the controllers over here. And I'm like pressing buttons and reading the whole thing. But I am extremely excited to have this conversation with you, Diana. One of our good friends from Podapalooza told me that I was talking to you, and I went and checked out your website and what you did. I was like, wow, I'm happy. They gave me the best guest in the whole Podapalooza. So welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to learn more about the Biz Brothers. And I love this whole idea of, it's all about education and entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? One of our kind of like mottos is we're trying to bring the creator economy into the B2B world, right? Because that's how we do. Our clients, it's all in the B2B world. But the content in that world is a little bit stale. So we're trying to like spice it up a little bit, and that's therefore why we got the sound. Sometimes we got some dancing in here. I don't wanna spoil the show.
I can't imagine.
No, Diana, for those that don't know that much about you, first, shame on them. But, who are you, Diana? Like, how did you get to where you are right now?
Oh, well, I've been a business owner for a long time, almost 40 years. And, it's like most entrepreneurs, it's a process, right? We have some good things, we have some bad things, we go up, we go down, we try different industries, we're all over the place. And so, I've had a retail business, I've been in network marketing. Back in the 1980s, let's go back to the 1980s, I did kind of like what a virtual assistant would do today. And then after I sold my retail business, a good friend and coach said to me, well, Diana, you've been watching people struggle to grow their businesses. And I did. I saw, women start businesses and they would burn out or they would burn through the family finances. And I said, there's got to be a better way. And so she said to me, Diana, why don't you teach people how to build profitable businesses? And this is back in 2013.
What a good friend. What a good friend. I'm just going to throw that out there.
And, back then I went, you mean people will pay me for that? Like I had never heard of a coach.
Yeah.
Hard to believe, but no, I hadn't heard of coach. And the coaches that were out there were people that, they had huge businesses and, so then the self-doubt kicks in and like, who am I to help?
I feel, what was it more like those huge consultancy agencies like McKinsey and stuff like that?
Yeah. And then there were some, big ticket people who had, big businesses and that were, starting sort of on the internet. And, I lived in a small town of 5,000 people and who was I to coach people? But I started, and I remember my very first client was a financial advisor who paid me, drum roll please, are you ready for this? $300 a month for private coaching.
Wow. I'm sure that felt great though at first when you know.
You know what? We all start at zero.
That's right.
We all start at zero. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I love this. And before you continue here with the story a little bit, I just want to. We have a little bit of a similarity in there because actually, when we started diving into the online world, right, and we started offering a little bit of online marketing services, we really didn't know who we were going to sell to. And we were obviously confronted with the imposter syndrome. Who are we to do this? I have no experience. I personally graduated with a sport management degree that I've never used, but I was like, how am I going to, sell marketing to somebody? So for me, it was a matter of, okay, who is the easiest target out there that I can find that I can potentially sell my services to? And we decided to do restaurants. And there was this Mexican restaurant down the corner from our house. Probably not the best option. We didn't know at the moment, about qualifying your ideal customers. But either way, I went there, knocked on the door, and actually we ended up closing that sale for a staggering amount of, drum roll please,
Drum roll, yeah.
It's not quite $300, but it was $500 a month, right? And at that moment, I was like, what just happened? This is absolutely amazing. So I love your story, right? Because, of course, we've grown a lot since that moment, but we probably wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for some of those opportunities in the past.
And, that's the thing is that you were bold enough to try, even though it wasn't perfect. And I know you probably see so many people who are, I'm going to wait till my online course is perfect before I launch it, or I'm going to wait till my website's perfect before I go out there and get speaking gigs. And, it's just a killer. We're in business, and the word business has, S's at the end. Well, I say they're dollar signs at the end.
Nice.
And, it's all about. And if we can get somebody to buy our services, then we have proof of concept.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm so guilty of the perfectionism and trying to always, have it right. I'm lucky that I have my brother in business with me because he's more of that. Let's go. I'm a lot of the idealist, the dreamer, right? I like to come up with these massive ideas and plans, and then if it's not perfect, I have a lot of friction. Actually, I'm going to change my vocabulary here in a little bit. I'm trying to, because when you change your vocabulary, you can change your identity, and then you can tune into, into more power. So I used to be a perfectionist and try to get everything exactly how I wanted before I got it out, which guess what? It would never see the light of day, and I would never get anything done. And it was just a struggle because at the end of...
And then you're helping no one.
Exactly, you're helping no one. So, all right, Diana, keep going with the story. I love where this is going.
So, there were many years where I didn't make a lot of money. And then, I could fast forward to 2 years ago when my husband retired, and he said, well, aren't you going to retire with me? Can't you spend some more time with me? And we live in a beautiful area where we do a lot of boating.
Oh, nice.
And I said, I love what I do. But I did take the opportunity to really look at my business. And this is when I decided to simplify my business. And this is really one of the things that I really help my clients do. And by simplifying my business, I looked at where was I getting the most joy, if you could say? Where was I getting the most profit? And we all know the good old 80-20 rule.
Yep.
And where was I spending, I won't say what was the easiest, right? I mean, nothing is easy in business, but we can make it simpler.
Absolutely. It's simple, yet it is not easy. That's for sure.
Right. And so I decided to let go of my group coaching programs. that were low ticket, and I decided to focus on private clients. And I felt so much guilt and so much
Wow.
shame for letting these people go because I knew I could help them. But also, the frustrating thing was that, when they bought a $400, a $900, whatever it was, program, they weren't really putting in the effort. And in a group program, I just felt they weren't getting the transformation that I knew that they could get.
Mm.
And it was so frustrating for me. But I knew that if they were going to commit to a year-long program with me, that was going to be, fairly significant investment for them, they
Yeah.
were going to put their mind to it, and they had to be ready.
Absolutely.
And so I did that. And, truthfully, I only had a couple of clients that 2 years ago, and now my roster is full of private clients.
That is awesome.
And I go, that's all I want.
Standing ovation. Standing ovation for Diana. I loved it. I love it. So I find that amazing. I love how you took that conscious decision of simplifying, right? Like, hey, and it's difficult, like you mentioned, right? Because you're not just letting go of the group clients that you have at the moment, but you're also, in your mind, you're potentially letting go of all the potential revenue that group could generate for you, right? And that's a scary thought, right? It's like, oh man, like, am I actually going to be able to close maybe those one-on-one customers that I want, right? Because obviously we tie a lot of friction with, high ticket programs where, like, especially at first, I would say, that we probably lack the confidence to, properly share these offers with other people. And yeah, I can't even imagine what was going through your mind at that moment, but I found it very interesting that you decided to let that go. And very powerful. And I just want to commend you because you decided to, I'll say, take the high road on, hey, I really want to see transformation. I know I can make an impact on people. And in the group setting, maybe some of them were getting that transformation, but it seems like you want everybody that comes through you to have that change and to actually achieve those goals that they want. So it's amazing. I love it because we are at a point, if I'm being honest, right, in our business where we offer a high ticket offer, but at the same time, we're actually thinking now of, wow, maybe we should do some workshops, things on the group stage of things, right?
But it's your choice.
Absolutely.
It's your choice, right? And I found that I was just caught up, and I'm going to play the age card here. I was caught up in this, launch again. And I went, no, I don't want to do that.
Yep.
I don't want to do that. And so I made a conscious choice of what success meant for me. And success for me is not a $500,000 business or $1 million business,
Yep.
6 figures is good. 6 figures is good.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, I made a conscious choice and I live by it and I love it.
Yeah, that is amazing. And I love you are, you really know seems like you really know your values and your principles and what you want to stick to and not deviate with that, which there's a lot of shiny object syndromes around, right? Like there's plenty of things to get distracted with in this world, especially now with all this access to information that we have. And I find it incredible. Now, I'm curious because for us, everything changed when we actually invested in a program it was on a group level, but it was a year-long program. It was a $25,000 investment for us that we didn't have at the moment, right? We had to get a loan and then pay that thing monthly. And actually, the guy that sold it, he made so much money the day that he sold it. He closed, I think it was over $1 million on that offer. That the bank didn't actually allowed him to like collect the money, right? They were just doing the I guess they were doing the due diligence, so it wouldn't be like a fraudulent transaction, whatever. So we actually didn't get charged for a few months, but he was fulfilling the product, right? He was fulfilling the whole coaching, the whole group, and we got a little bit comfortable there. We're like, oh, cool, this is nice. We're getting this. Oh, we're still not getting charged. And then I remember one day we just received a text message from him from Facebook Messenger, and it was a picture of him holding a sign that said Luis and Luis. And then a voice note that he was like, hey guys, great news. Everything is solved with the bank. We're going to start charging now. And my brother and I were just like, what? This is scary now. But what happened if we put ourselves, between the sword and the wall, that type of deal, and that actually helped us push through. It actually motivated us insanely to actually find solutions to the problems that we were dealing with. And that thing just changed the course of our business. So I'm extremely curious on how is it that you're doing this with your clients, right? Because I'm sure it is. I mean, it's 100% worth it. I'm sure, right? But I mean, and if you're willing to share some numbers, we're open for that. On how much is it that you're charging your clients? But I'm sure it's a heavy investment for them.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example of a lawyer that I've been working with actually for 2 years, 2.5 years. And this is typically what happens. People come to work with me to turn their business around.
Yep.
But in the process, as you know, we solve one problem and then there's another. We solve one problem and there's another.
They never go away.
Stayed with me, and now I'm working with other members of her team. So when she came to me as a lawyer, she was declaring losses of 5 figures for 4 years in a row. Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
That hurts. Ow.
Ouch. And the story is she had heard me speak in an event, and she was driving kind of by my house. And she said, Diana, can I stop in and have a chat with you? And I said, sure, stop in. We'll have coffee. She says, I want to do this project. She explains the project while we're sitting at the kitchen table. And I kind of went, this is going to take some time and some money. Do you have time and money to invest in this? And she kind of went, hung her head.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you are profitable, aren't you? And she said, no. I said, well, I think the first thing you need to do is become profitable. And she said, well, can you make me profitable? And I said, I can't make you anything. I said, but we can partner together. And if you're willing to do the work, we can turn this ship around. And this year, she's on track to declare a profit of $400,000.
Wow. Okay, standing ovation again. Standing ovation for Diana. That is absolutely amazing. Wow.
So her investment, has it paid off?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Diana, congrats. What a beautiful story, honestly. This is part of what I like about honest coaches too, right? I love how she asked you, can you make me profitable? A lot of people would have said, yes, absolutely, I can do this for you. Yeah, my system would do this for you. I love how you held her accountable. Hey, I cannot do this for you, right? But I can help you, right? I can help you get to where you want to be. And I think that's extremely powerful because, again, there's a lot of promises being done in today's world that, I feel like they're taking advantage of people's challenges and, how they're feeling and to, push them into making a decision that might not be beneficial for them. So, I think that is absolutely amazing. And I think we're kind of getting close to the end here. I'm sad that these are 20-minute interviews. I'm very, very sad. But before that, I see on the back that you have this work less, earn more. And I love it, right? Like, I feel that is the goal. I don't want to talk for everybody, but for most entrepreneurs, right? Like, they start their business because they want to have the time freedom, the monetary freedom to do the other things that they love, yet then they find themselves tied to their business. It's kind of like that meme that I've seen. It's like, oh, I train my 9 to 5 to work at 24/7, right?
Exactly.
So I'm curious. Do you have like, where did you pick that up, and how are you helping people implement this?
Well, I'll just be quick because I do know we're short on time today, but I use this, the work less, earn more, as part of my, what I call my GROW equation. So the word GROW is an acronym. So the acronym is G, means get known as the undeniable authority in your field. So how do you stand out from your competition? It's really, the G is all about the marketing and the positioning, etc. The R in the GROW is about ramping up your profits. This is being priced for profit and knowing what metrics you really need to drill down on. The O is about optimizing your resources. So your resources, you're a resource, your team is a resource, systems, that sort of thing. So you take the G plus the R plus the O equals W, which is work less, earn more. Or you know, some people say wealthy, some people say it's a well-oiled business machine, but I still like to work less, earn more.
Yeah, I love it. I love the work less, earn more. That really caught my attention. Not gonna lie, I was like, because I found myself still a lot, honestly, I'm working a lot, right? We do have a team. We do have some resources that help us out gladly, because I would be just mad at this point if I didn't have the team. So I'm extremely thankful for them. But at the same time, we're still looking to, okay, how do we, just like you asked yourself previously, how do we simplify, right? How do we simplify our business so we are doing the 80-20, right? We're doing the things that are actually going to move the needle forward. And as a result, work less and earn more. So Diana, this has been absolutely amazing. Before we head out, I do have a few more questions. They're going to be very, very quick. First of all, what is an action point that we can leave people with so they can, move a step forward in their journey to working less and earning more?
I think the first thing I always ask my private clients, what is your definition of success? And I don't mean, well, I want to work less, earn more. I mean, really specific, like how many hours a week do you want to work? What specifically financial do you want? How many days of vacation do you want? I really want people to get specific about those things. Yep. That's the first thing. The second thing is, we've all heard it before, niche down, niche down, niche down, niche down. And I say, go from generalist to specialist. What is your specialty? So those are, I think, probably the two biggest things for entrepreneurs to think about.
Awesome. Thank you. And then where would you be if you didn't put your message out into the world? Where do you think you would be right now?
Ooh, good question. Good question. Because I do love, first of all, I do love teaching. So I'm a teacher at heart. And, in my background, I taught horseback riding, lots of different things. I probably would be teaching, but in a different capacity, like not teaching consultants and experts, but I don't know what exactly, but I'm sure it would be about teaching something. Yeah,
absolutely. Love it. Love it. I love that passion for teaching, Fun fact, my mom, she's an educator, an academic educator. So when I was little, when people would ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? How everybody's like, oh, an astronaut, whatever, cops. I was like, I want to be a math teacher. Whoa! Far from math, very far from math teacher. But, I, at the end of the day, kind of like full circle, I came back and now I'm like, wow, I'm helping people and I'm teaching them about, turning their content into profit, which is a really cool feeling. And honestly, I believe being a teacher, regardless of, in the academic system or like you as a coach, is just one of the best things you can do because you're just changing people's life and it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Diana, where can people connect with you? Where can they, learn more about what you do, how you can help them? And of course, if they want to join you in your program so they can work less and earn more eventually, right? If they put in the work, how can they do that?
Just head over to my website. My website is dianalidstone.com. If they feel that they'd like to reach out to me, there is in the top right-hand corner a button that says schedule a call. I also, on my website, have a podcast. So my podcast is called the G.R.O.W Equation Business Podcast. And of course, there's blogs, etc. So there's lots of information out there about me.
All right, guys, I do encourage you to go check out her website, check out her podcast, and connect with Diana. As you can tell, we only had 20 minutes here, but this was absolutely amazing, Diana. I absolutely loved every second of it. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to share before we head out?
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you. And you know what? I think I need you guys on my podcast.
Oh, yes. Let's go. Hey, we'll be extremely excited and honored to be a part of that podcast. Thank you so much, Diana.
Take care.
All right, guys. What an incredible episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure you hit that subscribe, make sure you share it, and make sure you follow us in social media at BIZBROS Co. And if Diana here helped you move one step closer towards your goal, please don't forget to leave an honest review. See ya.